from New Hanover County Schools Television, powered by students. This is your school news.
Welcome to Your School News. I'm Mary Hull.
And I'm Caleb Hall. Topping our newscast, Superintendent hosts first of 4 student advisory events. Roland Grice student is finalist in BoardCom Masters National STEM Competition, and Bradley Creek students Skype Hurricane Harvey students in Houston.
Our top story this week. Each year, New Hanover County Schools Superintendent Dr. Tim Markley hosts a student advisory breakfast. The open discussion allows Dr. Markley to get students' points of view on issues facing the school system. Last week, the first 4 of students' advisory events was held, and YSN reporter Bobby Blue has the details.
The superintendent held the first of 4 student advisory panel breakfasts last week. This meeting focused on online learning and the opportunities it offers students today. Guest speaker at the meeting was Sarah Gubitz, who as supervisor of online learning for the district, gave an overview of the programs offered and engaged the students in discussing problems with the program. It was a meeting students on the panel felt would make a difference down the road.
I thought it was great to be able to come out here today and just kind of share our thoughts on how to make our learning experiences better. And today talking about the online stuff, and that was good to talk about our concerns and how to make them better as well.
The goal of online learning in New Hanover County Schools is to expand opportunities. Middle and high schools now have access to over 150 online courses to help them individualize pathways for students. All online learning courses are free to students. One of the big topics examined during the meeting was how to get information about online learning into the hands of students.
I think this was a very good opportunity for me. It was another way to learn things and how we can communicate back to Lainey. I think that it should be like another way for everybody to be able to try to come and do. I would like to be able to attend more meetings here and learn more stuff. That way I can transfer it back to Lainey, and hopefully everybody else gets the same opportunity that I did by learning stuff.
Following the discussion of online learning, Dr. Markley opened the floor up to any topic on a student's mind. A variety of issues were then discussed about parking, school counselors, honors courses, and a number of enrollment issues.
As a student, I think it's really important for the school district to recognize our voices and to listen to us and to ask for our opinions in our own education, to have our voice to say, because this is us, like this isn't them, they're working for us, I guess, because we're the students, we're the consumers, we're the people who are subscribing to this, we're the people who need to have some of the most prevalent voices in the issues that are basically around us.
This panel is already shaking up the landscape for schools and students. Future meetings and student input will no doubt make schools throughout the district better places for student learning and student life. Reporting for Your School News, this is Bobby Blue.
New Hanover County Schools Special Education and Related Services is proud to announce that Julie Askew, SPED Director, has received the 2017 Exceptional Educator Award from the Disability Resource Center. Also nominated for the DRC Exceptional Educator Award from New Hanover County Schools were Betsy Stanwood and Cindy Booth. Ms. Stanwood is a SPED liaison, and Ms. Booth is an Assistive Information Technology Specialist.
Reagan Williams, a Roland Grice Middle School student, is one of over 6,000 students across the country in grades 6 to 8 to enter the BoardCom Masters National STEM Competition. On September 30th, she was selected as one of the 30 finalists in the annual contest. Finalists are competing for more than $100,000 in awards. All finalists receive a $500 cash award and all expense paid trip to Washington, D.C. for the competition. Winners will be named on October 24th after the finalists compete in a rigorous competition that will test their abilities in STEM, critical thinking, communication, creativity, and collaboration.
I'm going to go up there, and for the first day I'm going to be presenting my project to the different judges and then any people who want to come see. And then most of the other days we'll be doing like STEM related challenges as a team, and I will also present my project to some other people up there. Not really sure who, they just said different types of judges.
Broadcom Masters is a program funded and produced by the Society for Science and the Public and seeks to inspire young scientists, engineers, and innovators who will solve the grand challenges of the future. Reagan's project, Marsh Attacks, context-dependent effects of interspecific trait variation in a marsh ecosystem, predator-prey interaction, caught the attention of judges, and she was named member of the top 300 masters in the Broadcom Masters National Middle School Science Competition.
After the horrible Hurricane Harvey devastated much of Houston with flood waters, many people in our area were inspired to do something to help. Bradley Creek Elementary took it upon themselves to adopt Monahan Elementary School in Houston and to raise money for the school. Bradley Creek held a school-wide Spirit Week fundraiser where students participated by giving $1 a day or $5 for the week. By the end of the week, they raised over $3,300. To add a personal connection to the fundraiser, Bradley Creek students Skyped with the Houston students. During the Skype session, the Bradley Creek students heard firsthand some of the struggles the Mohan students faced during the Hurricane Harvey. They learned that the floodwaters had brought wildlife into houses, including snakes, frogs, and alligators. They heard stories about how several Monahan students were rescued by boats and stayed in shelters, and most of them were still dealing with damage to their houses. The principal of Monahan told the story about how the road outside the school had washed away and now there was a giant hole as large as a semi-truck. The Skype session allowed the students at Bradley Creek to meet some of the people that they helped and learn that students just like them were aided by their generosity.
This is Your School News, on cable and online. Look for our blue logo for all the latest news online at www.nhcs.net.
Welcome back to Your School News. I'm Caleb Hall. Murrayville Elementary students who accepted the principal's challenge to read 10 books or more over the summer celebrated their accomplishments. The event hosted the school's multi-purpose room, featured cookies and karaoke with the principal. Summer is an important time for students to keep reading and improve their language skills. Numerous studies indicate that students who don't read or read infrequently during their summer vacation see their reading abilities decline. That's why Murrayville's principal challenged her students to fight the summer slide and read 10 books of their choice over the break.
I read Harry Potter, Percy Jackson. Fifth grade would be my last year at this school, and I wanted to read. I like to read.
Like the first challenge that I've been able to do, and I like to read a lot, and it's better for my education.
The Principal's Challenge celebration was a fun event for everyone, with lots of singing, dancing, cookies, apple slices, juice, and a break from the regular routines of school. Word spread fast around Murrayville halls, and students didn't read over the summer break were pledging to read more so they could also be part of the next Principal's Challenge celebration at Murrayville Elementary. Each student who read 10 books or more over the summer received a certificate.
19 New Hanover County Schools students have been selected to participate in the North Carolina Elementary Honors Chorus, sponsored by the North Carolina Music Educators Association. Singers were selected via a rigorous recorded audition. With the report is Vanessa Bergman.
The North Carolina Elementary Honors Chorus is a group of approximately 200 students who are chosen from across North Carolina to perform at the North Carolina Music Educators Association Conference each year. The purpose of this honors course is to provide students with the opportunity to develop their abilities to the greatest possible extent. Teachers who are members of Music Education Association are permitted to send in auditions from 6 of their students. Judges are hired to select the members of the honors chorus. Teachers then work with their students in preparation for the concert, and students spend the day before the concert working with the conductor. Participating in the North Carolina Elementary Honors Chorus this year from Anderson Elementary are Kylie Heath and Sophie Zamora. Their teacher is Jeremy Matthews. From Blair Elementary, Kaylee Harris and Jada Ward. Their teacher is Amanda Hinson. Participating in Elementary Honors Chorus this year from Coddington Elementary is Emma Gordon, Ava McNally, Gabriella Alfredo, Emma Spann, and Lainey Watkins. Coddington's music teacher is Mary Tyndall. From Eaton Elementary, students Cameron Steinhauer and Alan Studebaker will be in the Honors Chorus. Their teacher is Carly Kanzler. From Holly Tree Elementary, Ashley Dries, Lindsay Laraviere, and Sarah Rudisil will sing. Their teacher is Susan Gardner. Heading to Honors Chorus from Ogden Elementary are Bay Alabac, Kendall Hazel, and Sophia Lukasic. Ogden's music teacher is Lynn Stumke. Finally, from New Hanover County Schools, students Dylan Gowdy and Molly Mathis from Pine Valley Elementary will be in Elementary Honors Chorus. Their teacher is Victoria Everts. Selected via a rigorous recorded audition, the 220-voice chorus singers will present a concert at the North Carolina Music Educators Annual Professional Development Conference in Winston-Salem on November 12th. The guest conductor will be Dr. Elizabeth Hogan McFarland, Assistant Professor of Music Education at Southeast Missouri State University. Reporting for Your School News, this is Vanessa Bergman.
Students at Roland Grice Middle School learned about whales with the help of Watson, a life-size inflatable right whale. Whales are among the largest and most interesting creatures in the world. The students learned that whales are large, intelligent, aquatic mammals. They breathe through air blowholes into lungs, unlike fish who breathe using gills. Whales have sleek, streamlined bodies that move easily through the water. They are the only mammals, other than manatees, that live their entire lives in the water, and the only mammals that have adapted to life in the open oceans. Like the fictional character Pinocchio, the Roland Grice students got an opportunity to go inside the whale. Once inside, students learned about the animal's ribcage, the muscle structure around the creature's blowhole, and more. Under the guidance of the UNC Marine Quest, lessons on fishing nets that have been left or lost in the ocean by fishermen. These nets, often nearly invisible in the dim light, can be left tangled on a rocky leaf or drifting in the open sea.
That was really cool because you got to see you got to see what happens inside of a whale.
Ghost netting is when the fishermen lose a net or any other supplies and they get lost at sea, right? And you can lose the nets and then they can get caught on other fish or animals and then they could like let them die. And then also if you leave them in the water, you could also get like fined for leaving the fish nets in the water.
With the experiment, we learned that whales, when they're underwater, if they get caught in like ropes or anything, it's really hard for them to swim, whereas like when it's not untangled, it's easier to swim. And we learned that from using the tools to pull up and find the different amounts of like pressure that it's bringing down on them.
Following their time with Watson, the Roland Grice student then got to experiment with the effects of debris on marine life. Using whale models, scales, and simulated nets, they tested the drag effect ghost netting can have on these mammals. Once again, the Marine Quest mobile classroom engaged students and created opportunities to learn by doing.
On a hot and humid day in the wooded area of the back part of the University of North Carolina at Wilmington, 5 NJROTC, 1 AFJROTC, and 1 AJROTC units battled for the title of the Best Orienting Team at the 2017 Viking Trek. 79 cadets participated in 4 challenging events. There was an orange orienting course, a white orienting course, and an obstacle course, and an academic test. The overall results were first place West Cariot NJROTC, second place Georgetown NJROTC, and the third place Laney AFJROTC. Of the 4 events, West Cariot came in first on the academic test, and the varsity orange course and the obstacle course. Georgetown won the new cadet white orienting course. 7 trophies were awarded. 25 Viking Trek medallions were given to those cadets who excelled on the various events. Every school had an awesome cadet who were recognized. This was John T. Hoggard's NJROTC first year in collaborating with UNCW, creating and hosting the Viking Trek. The event was a success. Next year, with lessons learned, Hoggard will be hosting another exciting orienting meet.
Young students are exploring and learning about the state's barrier islands through a hands-on educational program supported by volunteers, a local nonprofit, the state, and the generosity of local businesses. The nonprofit MasonBoro.org has expanded their Masonboro Island Explorer program, designed to mentor and develop future stewards off the Carolina coast, in partnership with the North Carolina Coastal Reserve. Through the expanded program, 5th graders in New Hanover County will have the opportunity to explore and learn. MasonBoro.org started the Island Explorer program in 2013 with the Riceville Beach Elementary School. Riceville Beach Science Tours provides transportation for the program. Public support to continue expanding the Explorer program is encouraged by joining the $25 club. Just visit the organization's website at masonboro.org.
Check out these trending pictures and stories on the school system's website. Lowe's Foods donated $216 to College Parks PTA. UNCW Professor Mike Waddell gave workshop for clarinet and saxophone players at Holly Shelter Middle School. And students in Hoggard's Honors Oceanography class visited the beach to measure elevation changes and topography. And always trending is Your School News on Facebook and on Twitter.